So, do you look through an eye hole, or do you wait for the computer to make an image for you?
No, no, the romance of astronomers looking through eyepieces in the dark is long gone. Is it astronomers sit in front of computer monitors and look at their images or spectra on the computer screen. Sometimes they don't even go to the mountain at all. Sometimes they sit in their office in Tucson or their office in Rome or wherever it might be.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, babies in their diapers, welcome to the Tiberius Show with your host, Tiberius Boy.
That's me, Tiberius.
And welcome to the Tiberius Show today. And I'm your host, Tiberius Boy. And as always, we're looking at various jobs and how they affect the world around us. And today's guest is literally out of this world. I mean, he's an astronomer. He's helped build a large binocular telescope. And do you know what an astronomer does? Well, I mean, I think I do, but you know what? Let's just talk to this guy and find out. Let me introduce our next guest, the one, the only, the amazing John Hill!
Hi, Tiberius.
Okay, so thank you for being on the show. And you're listed as an Astronomer Emeritus. That sounds just super fancy. Can you explain to our listeners exactly what that means?
Okay, so the emeritus means I've retired and I was at the University of Arizona for my whole 41-year career. So they gave me emeritus status so I can still hang around and have fun when I want to.
Alright.
And
So,
astronomer means I studied the sky, looking at stars, planets, galaxies, whatever. My particular specialty is I've spent most of my career building telescopes.
okay, so what got you interested in the world of astronomy?
So I've known since I was in first grade that I wanted to be a scientist, and it was just a question of what kind of scientist was I going to be when I grew up. So in 10th grade, my friends and I took an astronomy class in high school, and we had a fabulous time with that. So when it came time to go to grad school, I decided astronomy might be fun. And I came to the University of Arizona, and here I am still today.
So it says here that you built a super large binocular telescope. Can you tell me more about that?
Okay, so the Large Binocular Telescope, or LBT as we sometimes call it, is seen in this picture that's over my shoulder here. It has two 8.4-meter mirrors that collect the light from the sky. So the first thing the big telescope it does is it collects a lot of light so you can see little faint fuzzy things on the other side of the universe. And each of those 8-meter mirrors collects a million times more light than your eye collects when it's dilated outside in the dark. And then add to that we have some electronic detectors that are more sensitive there than your eye and can take long exposures like 1,000 seconds. And pretty soon we have a sensitivity that's about a billion times more sensitive than your eye for looking at faint things.
Now, it says it is binocular, not bionic. Can you explain how that's different from a normal telescope?
So a normal telescope has one mirror or lens that collects the light, and this one has two mirrors that collect the light. So it's really like a pair of binoculars that you might take with you bird watching, except this one weighs 600 tons, so it wouldn't be very convenient to have it on a strap around your neck.
So, do you look through an eye hole, or do you wait for the computer to make an image for you?
No, no, the romance of astronomers looking through eyepieces in the dark is long gone. Is it astronomers sit in front of computer monitors and look at their images or spectra on the computer screen. Sometimes they don't even go to the mountain at all. Sometimes they sit in their office in Tucson or their office in Rome or wherever it might be.
So what's the best part about being an astronomer?
You get to play with telescopes and look at cool stuff.
What's the most important tool that you use every day, other than a telescope?
I think it's probably computers, because almost everything we do is on computers. Isn't that the same for you? We control the telescope with computers. We analyze data with computers. We write research papers with computers. Everything happens on a keyboard these days.
So what's the coolest thing that you've seen through a telescope?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I think that about 2 years ago, we took an image of Jupiter's moon Io with adaptive optics turned on, that is correcting the turbulence in the atmosphere. So we got an image in visible light of the moon Io showing volcanoes and lots of cool stuff on the surface. I think that has to be the coolest one.
That's cool. So, John, what's the hardest part about working in this field?
Well, first, it's a job I love, so it's mostly all fun. In January nights, you have to work from sunset to sunrise, and that winds up being like 17 or 18-hour days or nights, as it were. So that's a little hard. The other thing that's hard is sometimes they make me work on schedules and budgets and stuff like that, which is not nearly so fun as looking through a telescope.
So, what if a kid listening today really wanted to become an astronomer like you? What advice would you give them?
Study hard. Study all your math and science, physics, chemistry, optics, all that kind of stuff you need to go into being an astronomer.
Now, here seems like a good time to take a quick commercial break. Let's hear from our sponsors.
So you want to make an ad for your company, right?
Yeah, Tiberius, you want to help me?
Okay, so what's the name of the company?
PPWND.
PP what?
Professional Pressure Washing and Detailing.
So you like clean driveways?
Yeah, like that. We pressure wash commercial buildings and semi-truck and trailers.
So how would someone get a hold of you?
They can visit my site at ppwnd.com or call me at 407-900-7793.
So I just tell them to call you at 407-900-7793 or visit ppwnd.com?
Yeah, Tiberius, you got it.
Cut, that's a wrap. Just use that.
Oak Ridge Gun Range is a family-oriented shooting range that has been in business for over 30 years. They specialize in basic firearm training and offer numerous services such as consignments, gun trades, gunsmithing, and concealed weapon classes. I even got my training for gun safety at Oak Ridge Gun Range. Great customer service, and firearm safety is what they do best. So find out more at oakridgegunrange.com.
And we're back here with John Hill, the co-founder of a Mirror Lab. Ooh. So, John, what exactly is a Mirror Lab?
Okay, so when I was starting my second year in graduate school, my advisor, Roger Angel, showed me these two Pyrex custard bowls that were sort of fused together back to back like this. And he said that we can make big telescopes out of this technology. And I'm only a second year graduate student, so I said, okay, yeah, sure, let's do it. So we went out to the pottery store and we got some parts and we made a little furnace and started melting glass. And the idea was to make bigger telescope mirrors than what people had made before. It wound up taking 17 years before we made an 8.4 meter, but we made little ones and various sizes along the way.
So, are these like only used for telescopes, or can you use them for like an awesome slip and slide?
Pretty much only telescopes. Occasionally one gets used for some other optical thing like testing a satellite that's going to be launched in space or something like that. But they're too expensive for slip and slides.
Okay, so just how big are these telescope mirrors, and how do you get them up a mountain?
So the diameter is 8.4 meters, and they're honeycomb glass structures. That's what really we developed at the Mirror Lab, was how to make them lightweight. So they're only 20% what a solid piece of glass would weigh. And how you take them up the mountain is very carefully. They go on a truck, so they go horizontally down the interstate so they can fit under the bridges, but the box is too big to go horizontal up the mountain, so then it gets tipped up on edge and gets carefully driven up the mountain. It takes 2.5 days to go the 29 miles up the mountain.
What? 20? Dang. Okay. So, why is it better to have a telescope on a mountain?
So telescopes that are on the ground are on the top of the mountain, so they get above more of the air in the atmosphere and the turbulence. So some telescopes get launched into space, but that means that they cost like 50 times more than the telescope on the ground.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
if we can, we build telescopes on the ground, and if we have the budget, then we can do stuff like James Webb Telescope in space.
So, what's the most misunderstood part about your job that people just don't get?
So I don't do astrology, so I can't tell you your horoscope.
So, I know these telescopes are like designed to look out into space, but could be used to like point the Earth and maybe my backyard?
No, so the lowest the telescope can point is at the horizon, and even there, your backyard is too close. Well, your backyard in Florida maybe is far enough away, but we can't see Florida from Arizona. But anybody's backyard that might be near the telescope is too close, so we can't even focus that close.
But what about the ones in space?
Oh, well, telescopes in space like James Webb look out. That doesn't mean that the Air Force doesn't have telescopes in space that look down and can look at your backyard. So don't paint any nasty messages on your roof.
Okay. Now, what is the best advice that you've ever been given, and who gave it to you?
Let's see. I think my mother told me almost every day, do your homework, John. And that worked out okay. So I guess it was a good plan.
So, John, who inspired you the most when you were a teenager?
Oh, lots of people, I think. I had lots of good teachers in school and professors in college, so I don't know that there's just one person. There was a whole crew of people.
So, if you could go back in time and give your 14-year-old self advice, what would it be?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say be confident.
Alright. Well, has anyone ever thought that you found something cool, but instead it was just an issue with the mirror?
Yeah, we've taken images that looked like Klingon warbirds, and that turned out to be that the mirror was just confused about what its shape was supposed to be at that particular time. We didn't
Okay,
really
so
think it was we didn't really think it was a Klingon warbird, but it looked a lot like that.
So, if aliens are actually out there listening to the show, what would you want to say to them?
Don't shoot. We're friendly.
So, why
Although
would a kid listening? Go ahead.
if aliens are watching your show, I'm really impressed at the size of your audience, I have to say.
Well, why would a kid listening today want to grow up and do your job?
Well, because being an astronomer is fun. You get to discover new things and find out new things about how the universe works.
Well, on that note, let's take a quick break to pay some bills.
The Tiberius Show would like to thank one of their dedicated sponsors, Custom Designs Orlando. These guys are on Mills Avenue and do all sorts of stuff, ranging from photo ID badges, engraved signs, custom braille ADA signs, vinyl lettering to trophies and awards. The cool part about Custom Designs is they can ship products all over the United States. You can reach them at 407-898-0373 and tell them that
Tiberius!
sent you.
Over 40 years, Lighthouse Central Florida has provided education, independent life skills, and job training to thousands of Central Floridians who live with blindness or any degree of vision loss. Whether it's picking out clothes in the morning or just moving around your community and serving Orange, Seminole, and Osceola counties, contact Lighthouse Central Florida at 407-898-2483 or visit them online at lighthousecfl.org.
And we're back here with John Hill, astronomer and telescope builder. So, what skills should a teen start learning if they want to do your job?
Oh, let's see. Math, physics, engineering, chemistry, computer programming. That's a good start.
Okay, so do you have to be like really, really good at math to be an astronomer?
Yes, although by the standards of some of my astronomer colleagues, I'm not even very good at math.
Well, do you think AI has a positive role in your industry at all, or are you worried it might take over parts of a job and cost people a living?
I think AI will be a tool that all of us will use every day, but I don't really think it's going to replace astronomers in either collecting data or analyzing data. There are just too many things that you have to figure out as you go along.
So what was the biggest mistake that you've ever made, and how did it change you as a person?
Oh, the biggest mistake. Okay, so in 1997, when we were casting the first 8.4 meter mirror, we were cooking away down at the mirror lab, heating it up, melting the glass into the mold. And we have TV cameras that look in, and we saw that the level was at the right level on the mold, and we were happy. And then we noticed that the level kept going down beyond the place where it was supposed to. And that made us very unhappy. And we figured out that there was a leak. So 2 tons of hot glass leaked out of the mold onto the floor of the furnace. And
So
that took,
that's
well, you have
crazy.
to wait for the end of the story. So it took us like 6 months to recover from that and get a good mirror out of it. But that was the most expensive mistake that we made because it cost about $400,000 to redo the mirror.
So, like, how did you clean it up?
More or less by mining techniques, hammer and chisel kind of stuff.
Okay. So, what do you do for fun when you're, like, not looking at the stars?
So I have a 4-wheel drive addiction. So I take my 4-wheel drive truck out and drive around through the desert and on trails through the mountains and cool stuff like that to see where a 4-wheel drive truck will go.
Can you drift?
No.
Oh. But what's your favorite place to go then?
There's a place in eastern Arizona called Eagle Creek. And it has a stream flowing through it year round, so it's already wetter than most of Arizona. And has lots of trees and high cliffs and birds and bighorn sheep, all kind of stuff like that.
So, do you play video games?
Not very much.
Okay.
I'm sort of before the video game generation.
But what was your favorite one?
One of my grad school professors wrote his own called Space Invaders, and we used to play that all the time.
Okay, so what's your favorite book to read then?
Pretty much anything written by Tom Clancy and his co-authors.
Okay. Now, can you tell me that one story? You know, remember, this is a kid's show. But that one story, well, that you're not supposed to tell me about. Come on, you can tell me.
No, I can't.
Yeah, you can. I won't tell anyone.
But the aliens will find out.
Okay, I mean, that is a valid reasoning. Well, is there anything else that you think my listeners and the aliens should know about you and what you do?
No, we've covered it enough.
Okay, so where's the best place for teens to follow you online? Like Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn?
I have a web page. The best web page about the telescope is www.lbto.org.
Okay. So what is that one question that you think I forgot to ask you?
You didn't ask me anything about black holes. Everybody always wants to know about black holes.
Ooh, is it? So what about the singularities?
They're singular. What else can we say? Everything goes in, nothing gets out. And there was just an article on CNN this morning or yesterday about we've found two of the biggest black holes that we've seen collide and coalesce together.
Oh yeah, I think that's like the loudest sound in the universe.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing.
Ah. So, like, what's your favorite thing that you look at through the telescope? Like the most pretty, like the most, like, cool?
Oh, so I did a lot of research measuring redshifts in clusters of galaxies back in my graduate student and postdoc days. So those are probably my favorite observational targets, trying to understand the motions of galaxies in clusters.
So, thank you, John, for being my special guest. Can you stick around for Math Corners?
Sure.
Sweet.
Aw, Dad, my computer's slow again and I can't play my games.
Call Your Computer Solutions today, and we will scan for viruses and clean that computer up remotely and make it fast again. Our phone number is 407-826-0810.
Thanks, Dad. My computer's fast again. Now I can do my homework. Thanks for calling Your Computer Solutions at 407-826-0810.
Tiberius' favorite subject, it's Math Corners!
Well, thank you, John, for helping me with Math Corners. And this week, we're doing some more multi-step word problems. My dad is always good at finding new problems for me to solve, and this week, we're going to do a word problem that has to do with telescope mirrors. You might be good with this one. Alright, so Jimmy is working on a large binocular telescope which has two mirrors. Each mirror is 8.4 meters wide. When the two mirrors work together, the telescope has a resolving power of a single telescope that's 22.8 meters wide. So, how far apart do the mirrors have to be to get to a resolving power of 22.8 meters?
First, I want to say we might want to hire Jimmy at the University of Arizona. It sounds like he has lots of good experience.
Okay. So, first, this is a real world problem because, as exporters, we will always want to, try and improve the resolution and the power of a telescope. So, to solve this problem, you have to figure out the size of the two mirrors and the distance between them. So, if you want to simulate a 22.8 meters with an 8.4 meter mirror, you have to subtract the 22.8 from the 8.4 and you get 14.4 meters. So you really need to place the two mirrors 14.4 meters apart. For me on the other from center, on center means like the distance from the center part of the mirror, and that's the answer. It's 14.4 meters.
You've got it.
Well, John, do you have to adjust the mirrors every day to ensure that they're the correct distance?
We don't adjust the distance every day, but we have to adjust them so they're focused and generally well aligned every day.
Like the angles and stuff?
Yeah.
Well, my teacher said that I would use math every day. How do you use math with your work?
Pretty much every day, doing calculations about telescopes, analyzing the data that comes from telescopes, all kind of stuff like that.
Well, thank you so much, John, for your help with Math Corners.
Welcome.
And now it's time for the Heart of a Lion. As you know, we talk about the qualities of living by the heart of a lion, which stands for leadership, integrity, obedience, and nobility. This week, we're going to talk about nobility. For me, I think nobility is remembering we are God's special possessions and acting in a noble way, showing courage and honor. The qualities of nobility are goodness, virtue, honor, generosity, and selflessness. So, last month, I had a tournament in Tiberius, and my team was a team of 4 people. Me, Liam, Angelus, and Martin. We all knew each other from bowling and wanted to compete in states together. So we all did really well and placed second overall. Now, some kid next to us was complaining because he forgot his ball cleaner at home. Now, my teammate Angelus decided to let them borrow her ball cleaner for a second to use it on their ball. Now, this kid was not on our team, but, she was just selfless and allowed him to, use her product so that he would have a fair chance to compete. It was pretty selfless of her. So, John, do you have an example of nobility that you saw this week?
Yeah, especially this week. Yesterday was the anniversary of the September 11th attacks, and there were lots of remembrances and memorials about the first responders who lost their lives trying to save people. And that seems to me it's a sort of the ultimate example of nobility, to give up your whole life.
Well, we should always try to be lion strong in everything we do, shouldn't we?
Indeed.
And that's our show, folks. I want to thank the one, the only, the amazing John Hill for being on my show. It has been so much fun talking to you today. I think we learned a lot about your work as an astronomer and builder of large telescopes.
Thanks, Tiberius. It's been a pleasure to meet you.
Do you mind giving your webpage again?
www.lbto.org.
Okay. And also, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at The Tiberius Show. And I would like to thank WWPR 1490 AM, Canton 98, Soul Radio 24/7, EasyWay TV, and all the other stations that air on my show. And please visit The Tiberius Show on YouTube and hit that subscribe button. Hey, John, are you subscribed yet?
I'm afraid not, but I just learned how I could do it, so.
Okay. Oh, and this week, Joker Ha 93 says, "Wow, that lady is very talented." SA Fire Art goes, "Go Dylan." And Devon Cheryl 7906 says, "Nice." Well, thank you so much, Devon, for your support. And be sure to leave me a comment on my videos. I might even mention yours at the end of the Tiberius Show. And join us on the Tiberius Show next week with your host, Tiberius Boy. And that's a wrap.